Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, mushroom coffee. Nice. Hot. It's not as cold out today as it has been. Yesterday was kind of warm. Ridiculously warm. I was actually looking forward to this coffee all night. I had this anxiety in my head. I can't wait for coffee. I don't know why. Might be time for a fast. Who knows? Hope everybody had a good weekend. I had an interesting weekend, and we'll talk about some of those things. Usually the Monday show is a little bit longer than the rest of the week, only because I am bringing up thoughts that I've had over the weekend. Take a sheet of paper. Draw a line down the middle. Column A is things you can walk away from. Column B is things you could never walk away from. At the end of that exercise, column B should be empty. Do you get it? You should be able to walk away from anything, anybody, at any time. Why? Because your attachments in life are the things that make problems for you. When I talk to people, I follow the attachment trail. What don't they want to lose? When you have nothing to lose, your happiness is not based upon things or people. Does it make sense? It will someday. I am pro-divorce in certain situations. It's hard for the castrated husband to get his balls back once he forfeited them to his wife due to thirst, capitulation, and the wife being the main breadwinner. Time and time again, most men have either no balls or only one ball. The other is in the wife's purse. Time to get him back, guys. Time to get him back. And all of those men have something in common. That's what I've noticed. One of the things that a lot of those men have in common is that they're Christian. Maybe that's why I'm not married. But also, maybe that's why I want to keep my balls. Wives are not crazy about me a lot of times because I get their men to start working out, thinking differently about life, about church, about masculinity, about being a leader in their home and leader in their marriage. This is viewed as being disruptive. A simple thing like the Daybreak Show can be disruptive in a man's life. Lord knows, ladies, you don't want your man seeing more clearly now, do you? Masculinity in men is catnip for woman. Got it? Thirst in men is chick repellent. It's time to get some old school player wisdom, even though I'm not there anymore. The knowledge is still there. Do you know what living together and playing house leads to? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It has the look of strength, the look of a family. We're a family, but it's hollow. Artificial everything. It's like actors playing a married couple, portraying something that's solid and that's going to last forever. What you're really communicating when you live with somebody is this. Number one, your partner is not worth committing to. Two, you are not worth committing to. And three, you are letting fear and your past life rule your present life. Something to think about. Son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. Billy Joel, 1973. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Proverbs 13:20. Here's a pop quiz. In my more player days, when I would go out and about, I would go completely lone wolf and look for the group of girls. The girls' night out gang. The girls on vacation together. Why would I do that? All of your answers are welcome. Put them down below. Why would I go lone wolf, and why would I always look for the group of girls? There's a reason. Men's vacations, they're a little bit different. Epcot, Disney, hit all the roller coasters, all the water parks, the all-you-can-eat buffets, adult beverages, laughing, breaking balls, going to the hotel gym every day, do it all over again the next day. That's how men do vacations. Or hunting or fishing, very similar, and do it all over again the next day. Women on vacation, it's a different story. And if you think different, you have a veil over your eyes. You never forget your first love, your first bike, your first car, your first custom-made suit, your first house. And if you're smart, your first divorce. I can look at a man's tweets for the past 60 days, and I can tell you if there's heartbreak in his future. Actually, I can do it with 30 days of tweets, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and make it 60. Men reveal their weakness all the time. I can tell you what a man's about. I can tell you, I can see, it's like a weather report. It's like a forecast. Why do you think that is? Put your answer down below. I'd love to hear that. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in Miami never happened. Pitbull, 2012. Little wisdom from Pitbull. Pop quiz. She goes on a girl's vacation every year. They go somewhere different in the world every year. And then you meet that person. You meet that gal. And then that time of year comes about where it's time for her to go on the girl's vacation. This time they're planning a trip to Miami. What do you think about that, gentlemen? What are your thoughts? Put your answers down below. All answers are welcome. Pros and cons. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to go off on you if you get negative or red pill on me, because we probably have a similar opinion about that. Bodybuilding at any age. If you saw the video between me and Brett Senecola, bodybuilder, trainer, owner of the new King Gym in Bridgeport, you're going to love that. If you haven't watched it yet, it's the video that I put up before this one here. I did that interview with Brett yesterday. Oh, hence the shirt, King Gym. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. Powerful statements there. When one wakes up from the fantasy of what they think marriage is, you slow everything down and you hurry nothing. You might even cut off a relationship or stop being in relationships for a while. People will leave you because you're not talking marriage quick enough for them. Time reveals the unpreparedness in everybody. Give it time. If there's any urgency or any rush, that should automatically be a red flag. Automatically. Time reveals everything. Don't hurry anything, guys and gals. Men, you can only make your home sanctified if you are sanctified. Allow the various means of grace to quiet you, strengthen you, inspire you. Your wife will then be sanctified by you, and that is what I call the power of covenant. Sanctified means just set apart for a specific use, specifically a holy use. Heat up your milk or cream before you pour your coffee in. It's a game changer. One person said also heat up your cup. I do that as well. So if you put cream or milk in a cup, heat it up or heat it up in a pan and put it in the cup, then you add your coffee to it. Coffee stays hotter longer. It doesn't drop in temperature. So what happens, we fill up our cups with coffee, and then you put in ice cold creamer, milk, half and half, and the temperature, boom, just drops. You put it in a cold cup, the temperature drops. Everything about that coffee changes. Why not make hot coffee great again? I coached a young gal who has been corrupted by pornography. It made her internally desire aggressive, violent sex, but she was externally fearful. Porn led her to believe that all men want this aggressive, violent sex. Porn can mess with a woman's head and spirit. The women that I've talked to about these issues, the women that have sought me out for counsel, all have one thing in common: no father in their life. What if God's primary intent for your marriage isn't to make you happy, but to make you holy? My response is holy. Holy, you know what? What if your relationship isn't as much about you and your spouse as it is about you and God? Something to think about, right? Ron Popeil was making as much as $1,000 a week in the 1950s as a pitchman at a flea market. Broken family, in foster care, watched salespeople, and he thought he could do better. He produced his first TV commercial for $500. He's the grandfather of the modern commercial and infomercial. The key phrase in that is he thought he could do better. Thoughts are things. It all starts in the head. Everything starts here. Today, he's 84 years old, and there's still no stopping him. The odds may be stacked against you on the outside, but not in your head. He thought he could do better, and he did. My grandpa, he's 95, and he keeps on dancing. He's still alive. My grandma, she's 92. She loves to dance and sing some too. But I've been told if you keep on dancing, you'll never grow old. Steve Miller Band. Here's a pop quiz for you. You're at a restaurant bar with your woman. This is for the men. A man she used to work with or work for is across the bar. He starts talking to her from across the bar, recognizes her. He's drinking while his food to go is being prepared. On his way out, he swings by, shakes your hand, and then puts his hand on your wife's back and is rubbing her back for an unusually long time. They're talking, and before he leaves, he embraces your wife's face and kisses her on the cheek and says goodbye, and says goodbye to you. Men, what do you do? Put your answer down below. The phrase level up is so 2018. When I hear people say level up, I look at someone who is vulnerable to hyper vulnerable to trends and terms and just winds of trendy stuff, nothing permanent, blowing through the air. No more leveling up. Older men, if you're friends with younger guys on social media, intervene and tell them not to use it as their personal journal or autobiography. Have them tell you what their deals are. Confessing on Twitter all your past bullshit weakens your image, although you wrongfully think it will help. You have a bad case of survivor bias disorder. In other words, if I can get through it, you can too. My wife cheated on me 3 times and we worked through it. And if I can get through it, you can too. Meanwhile, you just lost the respect of 90% of the men listening to you. Now, I know people doing this, and I'm friends with people who have done this, and I've told them, and I've warned them, not like a jerk, but as a father, don't do that. Social media is not your journal, it's not your autobiography. What the heck is going on inside your head that you must log your bad decisions daily, publicly? That shit always comes back to bite you in the ass. Always. When I tell you to fess up, boys, that means tell another man. That doesn't mean put it on social media. That doesn't mean tell your wife, and that doesn't mean tell your girlfriend. She wants you to be transparent, so she says. But the minute you do, she will resent you for it. Confess your shit to the boys or to me. And I'm especially talking to you Christian men out there. You thirsty Christian men who have put your wife on a pedestal because that's what you've been taught. You call her the boss, or your better half, or the missus. She's your wife. You're the leader of the house. You're the leader of the home. You're the leader of the relationship. It's not equal. It goes man, woman, children. Or God, man, woman, children. The buck stops with you, men. Man up. Be a man. I don't care what your pastor says. He's preaching to your wife and not to you. Get real. Gwyneth Paltrow is selling a candle that smells like her vagina. I read this on the Daily Wire. It's $75 a pop. I actually thought that was a joke when I was reading that, but it's actually true. My first thought was they'll never get that smell out of those candles. Did your ex-wife or girlfriend ever get aggressive? Or your current wife or girlfriend get aggressive? You know why? Because you were weak and you're not maintaining your role in the household, in the relationship. By your passivity, men, you are forcing her to man up, which she resents doing and resents you for. You shared too much with her because you thought transparency was a good thing. Weak men attract and promote and propagate and perpetuate aggressive women. You need cooling, baby, I'm not fooling. I'm going to send you back to schooling. Way down inside, honey, you need it. I'm going to give you my love. I'm going to give you every inch of my love. Led Zeppelin, 1969. Song lyrics are funny, I think. And last but not least, I like strong, determined women because it takes strength to not let this world strip you of your femininity and virtue. So cheers to the strong, determined woman. And cheers to the woman who can submit and honor and love her husband. That's to you. Finish your coffee, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Daybreak Show, the home of sanity, clarity, and reason.